Modern Warfare Season 1 is upon us, and with the recent content over the course of the last few days, we were able to preview some of that content you'll be getting your hands on depending on when you watch this, either by now or in just a little bit of time. That content included the new Ground War map, the 2v2 maps, and of course Crash and the Battle Pass here on the channel the last few days, to which firstly I'd like to say thank you for the insane support on all that content, but I'm excited to continue with today and beyond. And in this video today, I wanted to take a little bit of time to detail how the shop works within Modern Warfare, and also showcase to you 34 of the weapon variants or blueprints in Season 1 that come either in the shop or in the Battle Pass to showcase what the framework of customization may be like here within this upcoming year, if this is anything to gauge it off of. That said, let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below for the designs of these weapons, and of course, if you're new, do be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare on a daily basis, especially now as we jump into Season 1. That said though, what you've seen up until this point has been some Battle Pass content in terms of those weapon blueprints. We know how that works. We talked about that as of yesterday. If you missed it, we detailed and explained the entire thing. You can check out the full video here on the channel, but the Battle Pass will allow you to get some things free, with all functional items like your weapons being 100% free. But if you want to capitalize on that pass and know that you're going to be playing more and you want to earn strictly cosmetic items for that time you put into the season, for 1,000 COD points you can gain access to 80 more tiers of cosmetics, including the likes of what we detailed yesterday was again things like 18 more weapon blueprints than that of the free base stream. But we talked about that stuff before. Now you're seeing some of the stuff that will be available to you throughout the entire season. Some of that stuff may come to you as of today initially, and some may not be and may be rolled out over time. But when we were at Infinity Ward Studio last week, we had access to fully maxed out accounts, unlocked everything, so we got to look at some of the content that will be, again, either in the shop now or coming throughout the coming weeks of the shop. Full transparency, none of this, cosmetics, COD points, or anything came home to my console. This all stayed in-house at the studio. Like we mentioned yesterday, this is kind of the standard for things in dev, for accounts on dev consoles to have everything maxed out. That's how they are aware of how things function with everything. Plus, you'd be absolutely mad if you think I really put that many COD points on my account. But when you first jump into the store tab for Modern Warfare, you'll be met with a multi-tile design specifically broken up for various categories. You'll see here, For You, Featured, Operators and Identity, Blueprints, and as well the Franchise Store. Just For You is a sort of tailored and I would imagine random deal of items. Featured are the main and newer items, though to be fair, all items are new at the moment since it's the first introduction of the store. Operators and Identity are all items that focus on your character and your outfit, but some come with basic weapon blueprints along as extras. Blueprints are of course what you'd think. They focus firstly on weapon design and then other items are thrown in the mix here with these. And finally, Franchise Store, we didn't actually have anything on this, but I'd imagine that's where you could access your COD points, or in the future, things like pre-ordering the next COD game in-app like you could in Black Ops, and all the other titles in the years before. Plus, if there's another, say, Call of Duty endowment pack or something that makes its way over there, I'd expect that to make it in that category as well. Now, there is a fundamental difference this year, and that being is how the shop presents its items. It's fairly straightforward in what you get, breaking it down again into categories that you can cruise through, but this year we have no individual items for sale. Everything in-game relating to Modern Warfare, again, pending that there's no introduction of another Call of Duty endowment pack or something like that, everything relating to Modern Warfare is in a bundle, some smaller than others, some larger. Now, while at face value that sounds pretty terrible given our past experiences with bundles, it's not as terrible as one would consider when comparing it to, again, that recent introduction of Black Ops 4's bundles. The way that I see it, at least the contents aren't artificially inflated by supply drops. You get, in some cases, upwards of 10 items for around a $20 price point, those being the bigger ticket bundles, and those always offering an operator skin, 3 weapon blueprints, a watch, some other smaller stuff like a calling card emblem, and then other things like operator quips, finishing moves, and a tier skip to round it all out for the Battle Pass. So comparable pricing for blueprints alone in Black Ops 4 would have made these bundles around $30 to $40 just for those. So you'll find a wide range of bundles in the shop with items of higher or lower value, all really circulating around how much you want to get in quantity wise, but also the quality of those items in said bundle. You'll find things to be more expensive in some cases that have maybe, say, a bunch more blueprints, and things players would likely find more valuable compared to the lower tiered bundles, including basically just the likes of calling cards and quips. I don't think that I saw anything more than a $20 bundle at my time here. It might have gone up to like 2,800 COD points, but I think that 2,400 400 was the most that we saw, and there were definitely bundles that were worthwhile that weren't upwards of $20. I think it was the AUG blueprint that everybody asked me about in the comments, that its bundle was only 800 COD points for that plus 2 smaller items. Now, one thing that I can't stress enough is that everything in here is cosmetics and non-essentials as the time of recording this. So sure, the pricing in some cases may be high for your liking, and I totally get that, but it shouldn't interfere with your game, and you aren't required to buy this kind of stuff. It doesn't have any nature or element of pay to win. So that said though, the shop will have on display 5 tiles per category, but say you purchase one bundle, you won't be down to just 4. It will instead throw in another tile in a bundle that you may not otherwise be able to see. As it stands right now, we don't know what the refresh rate will be naturally. From what I'm told, it's not going to be something that you can't access some of the later and cooler items unless you buy the first few on display. That'd be incredibly dumb, so good thing that's not the case. But no timer was set up to swap items on the frontal display when we were out there at Infinity Ward. As of when this goes up, perhaps there is something that is an in-game timer, but what we learned earlier last week, we didn't have that information at our disposal just yet. So given that information, yes, there are things like the Royal Armory 2 bundle, which is a design continuation of the first with a sort of design style comparative to, again, the Royal Decree 2v2 reward blueprint for the 50GS. But ultimately, where are the designs of said weapons? Either by now or at this point, there should be some video B-roll of the weapons that I was able to use that are, again, either from the Battle Pass or from the shop that will be rolling in the background showcasing some of those designs. I think that for the most part, a lot of these are actually pretty badass, but also not too out there. Of course, the anime ones are pretty funny and likely wouldn't be too realistic, but for the most part, things like the ornate design of the Royal Decree blueprint family. I love that, and it's a for-show realistic design. Maybe you wouldn't see that in the battlefield too much, but those camos, those patterns, and those etchings and all are real things that are out there on weapons. Things like the Arctic Wolf, that's out there, sure, it's a little crazy, but it's also not too terribly out there in my opinion. Also, side note, Easter egg with that one, really cool looking in my books. Things like your Brass Tacks Kilo, things like your Bubble Burster from Moss, things like your The Brave M13. Those add a splash of color and vibrance to the game without really overdoing it in my books. That's my thoughts behind them. I know that I'm personally okay with them, and you guys may completely disagree, and that's totally fine. If so, I 100% respect that decision and opinion. But I think that following up a game like Black Ops 4, where camos were basically alien and changed color and stuff mid-game, I think that this adds a breath of calm air to that customization level. I think that it adds the flash that a lot of players want, but also isn't entirely over the top, at least from my perspective. But ultimately, that's where we're kind of at here with this. You'll see that there is a lot more designs, probably closer to this, coming on the horizon, but what we see in this upcoming season, again, either immediately or shortly thereafter or coming over the course of the next couple of weeks, are styles similar to this, if not identical to this, for various weapons in blueprint families or specific ones that may just be one-offs and so on and so forth. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to wrap it up here at this, again, rounding out our final showcase here of early content for Modern Warfare Season 1, but I'll leave you guys with the raw footage of these inspect animations so you could check them out and you could see what a lot of these look like still for the ones that we didn't necessarily get to showcasing just while talking. So there's a lot still to come, not only here just in this video, but also a lot to come over the course of the next season. So for now, I'm open-minded, I'm optimistic about where we may go here at this, but let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you think of these designs for the weapons? What do you think of the shop? And anything else in between? Feel free to let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare. And of course, if you guys want to get connected a little bit further outside of YouTube, I live on both Twitter and Instagram, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, those links are down there in the description below if you guys want to toss a follow. But let's send out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.